Hi guys, Chris here from Super Savvy Travelers. First of all, before we get into the €1 stuff, I have to tell you I'm so excited because I have so many people ready to come over to Santa Domenica Talao as soon as Italy opens up. And I'm hearing some hopeful things, so fingers crossed it won't be too long. We are expecting to be there in September and October, both of those months, maybe even a little in November. We'll see what's happening. But we have people scheduled, we have other people just chomping at the bit to make their reservations as soon as it opens. I have guys going over there even before that, you know, from other areas. So Santa Domenica Talao is getting ready for you. And the whole Riviera di Cedri is also preparing itself for you guys to come over. We can't wait. Okay, good. Well, just if you want to come over, send me an email and let's get it all set up. So we'll work out the logistics. We'll get everything going. It's going to be so much fun. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there. And then now we're going to get into the €1 Italian houses and who is it right for and who might want to look in another direction. Another note, let's talk about these €1 Italian houses. There are certain people that it might be good for. There's, you know, a certain personality type or situation or whatever that might actually work. So today we're going to talk about whether or not a €1 Italian house is for you and some things you should look for in your own circumstances, which might lead you in that direction, and others that you might just want to look at something else. So the first off, we're going to talk about the things that probably wouldn't work for an Italian house, a €1 Italian house. First of all, if you have limited financial resources, I wouldn't get one of these because it is a renovation and there is a lot of structural work involved. Now, a lot of people think that, you know, they can buy the €1 Italian house and then that's great, they're in. But you do have only a few years to complete the renovation. You can get a renovation estimate. They're not always completely accurate. When you're into structural stuff, it's kind of expensive. So if you have limited financial resources and it will be a big disaster if something goes over budget, then that's not for you. Another thing is if rental income is required for you to be able to make the payments or own your house, that might be a bit of a problem simply because a lot of these €1 Italian houses are in sort of faraway places. You know, Cinque Fronde is in the middle of Calabria, and when I was looking on Airbnb, I was kind of researching for a client who was interested in that, and I only found one Airbnb rental in Cinque Fronde, which told me that maybe that wouldn't be the best place to do it. If you need rental income, I would stick along the coast or at least in a city or a village that has tourists already going there, unless you plan to do a massive marketing campaign, which is totally great and totally fine, and your village would love that. So bear in mind, many of these are in an out-of-the-way place. Many of these take a little bit to get to. Most tourists, I don't think many of them will want to make the effort unless there's really something truly spectacular that you can just promote like crazy. Another thing that makes it probably not for you is if you're worried about the language and communication. Now, again, these places are sort of away from the touristy areas, and as a result, there's probably not a lot of English spoken in these villages. Maybe there is, but you'll have to find out and see, and then maybe align yourself with somebody who does speak both English and Italian so that you're not going into this with a massive barrier of the language difficulties to get over and try to understand as you're already going through all of the stresses of renovation. So if you're worried about that, I would steer clear. Other options include buying something already done up. In southern Italy, in Sicily, there are so many properties that are already done. You can slide right in for not very much money. A lot of times less money than you would spend renovating one of these properties. Another option is that you buy something that maybe just needs a little cosmetic repair, nothing structural. The roof is okay, the walls are good, everything is fine except you don't like the tile or whatever. That's a really good option as well. Many times you can get those at greatly discounted prices. So I would do that. If any of those things apply to you, I would just kind of look at different alternatives. Now, who should buy a €1 Italian house? Well, let's say it's somebody who wants an adventure. They want something exciting. They want something to tell their grandkids. They want to take something and start it and get in there and figure out the problems and this and that. You know, somebody who just thrives on that stuff will do great with these €1 Italian houses. Another thing is that if somebody's financially strapped, we already talked about it. If you have a little extra money and you're not going to freak if things go over, then that's a good alternative for you. You have to be pretty courageous. If you stress at difficulties and find things overwhelming when they go wrong, this is €1 house is definitely not for you, because things might go wrong. And I don't know any renovation anywhere in the world that hasn't had at least one or two pretty good sized things go wrong. So if you stress over those things, probably not for you. Get something that's already done or something that needs cosmetics, because there's less to go wrong. Those who are not counting on rental income, again, the financial strap thing, the rental incomes are great along the coasts, in the towns and villages that are already have tourists coming there for various different reasons. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if you want to create something really unique, like you want to buy, one of the things you could do, if you're already paying for the renovation costs, is you could basically buy 2 or 3 properties and stick them together. You're paying already for the logistics of getting the scaffoldings up there and the roof crew up there and all of the equipment and everything there. Renovating 3 properties would not be as expensive as renovating 1 and 1 and 1. I hope that makes sense. But that's a possibility too. So if you want to do that, do something unique, something artistic, something very cool, then you might want to look at these €1 Italian houses. Another thing is, if you have good communication skills, then you could kind of go into this relatively easily, as long as all these other things line up. One thing that I will recommend, no matter what you do, is always get every single question answered. Never have any of those question marks hanging above your head, and never ever tell yourself, oh, it'll be okay. Never do that, because I've done that too many times in the past, and at times it was not okay. So make sure you get all your questions answered. There's no stupid questions in the world. Get them answered so that you feel good, you can sleep at night, you know exactly what's going on, and you're actually doing not only you a favor, but also the workman and the architect or geometra or engineer or whoever. You're doing everybody a favor by making sure that that communication line is super, super clean, super well understood, and everybody's on the same page. So there you go. These are things to think about. Whatever you're looking for, just shoot me an email. I'm sure we can help you find it. So I hope that's helpful. See you later.